の人にあげよ。あの人の髪にこの花さしてあげよ。赤い花摘んであの人にあげよ。あの人の髪にこの花さしてあげよ。
A lone starving cub found in the middle of a war which had drawn to a conclusion, and an infant who was stripped of everything, his body, his childhood, and his essence, the essence which makes one human. These two guys and gals, these two wolves, Sekiro and Hyakkimaru, both of them have started off with nothing until they gain so much and accumulate so much strength and power to achieve their goals. For Sekiro, it's to protect that who is most precious, and for Hyakkimaru, it's also to protect someone who is most precious. It's to get back that which he lost, his limbs, his essence, what makes someone a human being, their body parts and their humanity, but at the cost of it, their soul and humanity, despite wanting to get it back. What makes someone a human being? Sekiro and Hyakkimaru, guys and gals, are so similar in many ways, but they also differ from one another. Sekiro being the one-armed wolf, the one-armed shinobi from Miyazaki, Hidetaka, and Hamatani Kazuhiro's Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And of course we have Hyakkimaru, the infant who would grow to become a beast who wants to get back that which was stolen from him by his own so-called father. Hyakkimaru from the 2019 anime series directed by Kobayashi Yasuko and written by Furuhashi Kazuhiro, an adaptation of the manga of the same name by Tezuka Osamu titled Dororo. Dororo is such a great anime series and without question one of my favorites of 2019 and of all time. Dororo is an anime series yours truly proudly compares to Berserk in the best way possible. Those two anime series, guys and gals, yours truly love so much. Berserk from 2016 and 17, I mean, the one in the 90s was good, but that's besides the point. These two, however, Sekiro and Hyakkimaru, are so similar and yet so distinct from one another. First off, guys and gals, Hyakkimaru, as I mentioned, was an infant born because of a curse. He was a cursed infant as his father saw him, a curse which his father had passed on upon him, all for the sake of his beloved nation, the nation which he was willing to sacrifice his firstborn for. Sekiro is so different, and yet he was also an orphan. While his past is drastically different, Sekiro, or Wolf, did had a very close bond or relationship with a blacksmith or sculptor as he is called, but his real name, or rather the name which he referred to himself as back when he was a skilled and deadly shinobi, and that name is Orangutan, or Sekio as he was once called, the one-armed orangutan. He was his blacksmith, the one who helped build his prosthetic, making it stronger and thus making him, the one-armed wolf, a much more lethal and stealthier shinobi. At the same time, the sculptor or orangutan was also a close friend and comrade of Sekiro in the same way that the blacksmith who took in Hyakkimaru, whose name is Monotsuna, this blacksmith, guys and gals, is someone who Hyakkimaru can truly call a father or a mother in his own words, because Hyakkimaru, the only word for parent he knows is mother. Even though he is a man, he is still his parent, so oh well, Ka-chan, mother, or whatever. But yeah, guys and gals, Hyakkimaru does have a very close bond with him in the same way that Sekiro has a strong bond with orangutan, but their bonds, guys and gals, differ so much in the same way that their motivations also differ. Their backstories and tales in general are so different and yet equally tragic, and how their tales connect with these two wolves, these two young wolves, is so interesting and so epic to watch. The evolution of their bond/relationships with one another. Sekijo, that's the name of the orangutan. Sorry guys and gals, you know, sometimes these names can really, be quite the challenge, but yeah, Sekiro is the name of the sculptor or orangutan. And the funny thing about the sculptor, guys and gals, and how, you know, he ties into Munutsuna is the fact that, you know, Munutsuna himself is a blacksmith, and as a blacksmith with a clear, you know, troubled past, and he has committed a lot of sins akin to the sculptor or orangutan back during his prime as a shinobi before Ashina Ishin cut off his arm, because the sculptor was going to become Shura, a demon of war, hatred, and of course carnage, one who seeks out violence and endless amount of bloodshed. But Ashina Ishin had prevented that, and he continued his days as a sculptor trying to atone for what he had done, in the same vein as Munutsuna, who made these artificial limbs for so many soldiers and folks who were wounded during the war. And sometimes, guys and gals, actually a lot of times, he gives out these prosthetics to corpses in the aftermath of a war or battle or even skirmish. But yeah, guys and gals, these two are very similar in the same way Sekiro and Hyakkimaru are similar. That's one point I wanted to share with you guys and gals. Thank you for your time, and do enjoy the rest of the video. Please do. Sekiro and Hyakkimaru also have the potential for doing dark and unspeakable acts which some may consider evil, or in the case with Sekiro, Shura. And when Hyakkimaru also gives in to his anger and hatred, he becomes a beast, a blood-starved beast, which is the case with Mio when Mio was murdered at the hands of these bandits, these scumbags, and Hyakkimaru went on a killing spree until he heard her voice, the song which Mio used to sing to him. This song, guys and gals, is the very first thing which Hyakkimaru had heard. Rage and hatred can give someone, can give a man such powers and strength a shinobi or a swordsman, in the case with Sekiro and Hyakkimaru respectively, never thought they could possess, even though they themselves are already strong warriors with such fighting spirits and ferocity akin to wolves, young hungry wolves. And Kuro, guys and gals, speaking of Kuro, the main character of Dororo himself, the young boy, or to some, he's someone else. If you guys and gals had read the manga or watched the original anime series from the 1960s, or even this remake of said anime series from the 1960s in 2019, which I bet you did, you will know exactly what I'm talking about regarding Dororo and his gender. But regardless of his so-called gender, Dororo is Dororo in the same way that Hyakkimaru is Hyakkimaru, or Aniki is Aniki in the words of Dororo. These two, guys and gals, are indeed a family, a duo they are, in the same way that Sekiro and Kuro are a family. Dororo and Kuro both have their own separate stories. Another similarity which Hyakkimaru and Sekiro have in common, definitely have in common, is the fact that Sekiro and Genichiro, Ashina Genichiro, was never able to defeat Sekiro. 3 times they fought. The first time, guys and gals, he did indeed lost, but his henchmen had interfered, thus he cut off his arm, the arm of Sekiro. But the following 2 times he did lose without any interruptions, but the first time it does count, in the same way that Hyakkimaru had defeated his so-called brother, his younger brother, by 1 year, and that brother is Tamaru. Tamaru, guys and gals, had lost to Hyakkimaru 3 times, and what's funny, guys and gals, is the fact that Tamaru, just like Ashina Genichiro, admitted defeat 3 times. No matter how strong, quote-unquote strong, they become, they can never defeat Sekiro and Hyakkimaru. Sekiro and Hyakkimaru are just too strong. How often do you see that? The main antagonist admitting defeat at the hands of the protagonist, and that is something which I found so interesting about the antagonist, as well as being funny or humorous. These two, Sekiro and Hyakkimaru, share so many similar traits, but at their core, these two are 2 skilled warriors. The humanity within them is what made them so interesting and so relatable, and their similarities goes far beyond their disabilities or flaws, akin to Guts from Berserk and Senua from Hellblade and the soon-to-come Hellblade 2. Those 2, guys and gals, Guts and Senua, yours truly did a similarities video on them, which you can check out in the link down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out my gaming channel where I do Let's Play series, gaming contents, and so much more. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.